when Peter Doocy announced his engagement. In 2020, it shocked everyone at Fox News. His wife had been hiding in plain sight for years. Nobody knew they were together. When they finally got married in 2021, only 18 people attended. She makes her own money, covers her own beats, and recently gave birth on their wedding anniversary. But what's really shocking is how this power couple operates behind the scenes. The truth about their relationship will surprise you. Peter Doocy was born on July 21, 1987 in New Jersey into what could only be described as Fox News royalty. His father, Steve Doocy, had just stepped onto a path that would change both their lives. In 1996, when Peter was 9, Steve joined the brand new Fox News channel as the weather guy. 2 years later, right as Peter turned 11, Steve became co-host of Fox and Friends. The timing was uncanny. Within just 3 years, that show became the most watched program in cable news, a position it would keep for the next 24 years. By 2019, President Trump famously rated Steve's loyalty as 12 out of 10. Peter's arrival into the world felt almost scripted for a life in media. He was even born at George Washington University Hospital, only a short walk from the White House. His childhood didn't look like other kids. He grew up with cameras, bright lights, and a front row seat to American politics. Steve brought him into that world early. In 4th grade, Peter made his first network TV appearance on Take Your Child to Work Day. While other kids were building Lego sets or riding bikes, Peter was sitting on the Fox and Friends couch watching his father interview presidents and celebrities. The show became so influential that the New York Times called it the most powerful TV show in America. Trump called it the most honest morning show and watched it so faithfully that he often quoted it on Twitter. Steve even celebrated Peter's birthdays live on air. Family photos tell the story of a boy who was as comfortable on the White House lawn as he was in his own backyard. Peter attended St. Albans School in Washington, D.C., one of the most elite private schools in the country, where tuition cost tens of thousands of dollars a year. But his real education came at Fox News Studios, where history unfolded in front of him. During those years, Fox and Friends averaged 1.5 million viewers and even beat morning shows on traditional broadcast networks like Today and Good Morning America in some markets. Peter wasn't just watching TV. He was absorbing the language and rhythm of political conversation from one of the most recognizable sets in America. By his senior year in 2004, Peter's ambition was already visible. Just 17, he landed an internship at Fox News and even appeared on air reading sports highlights with Brian Kilmeade. In 2005, his father proudly announced on live TV that Peter would attend Penn State, but Peter surprised everyone by choosing Villanova University instead. That decision would lead to a defining moment. In 2008, during his junior year, he attended a political forum with presidential candidate John McCain. Just days earlier, Hillary Clinton had made headlines for downing a whiskey shot on the campaign trail. Peter grabbed the microphone and asked McCain if he'd join him for one. McCain laughed, called it one of the toughest questions he'd ever been asked, and the moment made national news. From 2005 to 2009, Peter studied political science at Villanova, where tuition ranged between $35,000 and $40,000 a year. He hadn't originally planned on journalism. Law school seemed more likely, but that whiskey shot exchange showed him the power of a single question, and from then on the path shifted. Life on campus wasn't always easy. Everyone knew who his father was, and his last name often brought assumptions about privilege and nepotism. The resemblance between father and son was so striking that even today, people sometimes mistake them for brothers. The pressure to prove himself was constant, and Peter often sought his father's advice as he tried to make his own way in the industry. During college, he reported for Stray and contributed stories to Fox News, gaining experience while navigating the double-edged sword of a famous surname. The mid-200s were a time of upheaval in media. Cable news was growing, but traditional networks were losing viewers to digital platforms. Having the Doocy name opened doors, but it also meant higher expectations and greater scrutiny. Every opportunity felt like a test to see if he belonged on his own merit. When Peter graduated in May 2009, the timing couldn't have been worse for most new journalists. The Great Recession had gripped the country since late 2007, and unemployment peaked at 10.1% that October. For recent graduates, it was even bleaker at 17.6%. Journalism salaries had dropped sharply, from $35,000 in 2007 to $28,000 in 2009. Newsrooms were cutting staff at a historic rate, with over 15,000 journalism jobs disappearing in just 2 years. But while many of his classmates sent out hundreds of resumes and heard nothing back, Peter walked straight into a job at Fox News as a general assignment reporter in New York. To many in the industry, it looked like a textbook case of nepotism. Most journalists grind for years in small markets before even dreaming of a major network. But Peter skipped the grind entirely. Fox News gave him the position directly, sparking questions about whether it was talent or family connections that got him in the door. That first step would follow him for the rest of his career, with critics quick to remind him how he started. The father and son working under the same roof was something cable news had never seen before. Steve was at the top of the morning show world, pulling in millions a year, while Peter was trying to prove himself on the ground.